and welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of January 15th. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terri Morrow, who may sound a little different to you.
Hello. Is this thing on?
Terri has a little bit of a respiratory ailment, so...
I have a giant ball of goo in my throat, and yesterday it let through pretty much no voice at all. Today, some of it is carving its way through, so we're going to try this.
We're going to try.
Apologies to all who this grates on your ears, and anybody who wants to laugh at how ridiculous I sound, go ahead. My daughter has been doing it for about 48 hours.
Terri is committed, everyone.
A committed podcaster.
We took 2 weeks off. She was not about to take another week off. She
Even
will
if my
soldier
voice sounds
on.
abusively bad. You're going to listen to it.
Yes, you will listen. So I guess that's our intro chat.
That's our what's happening chat.
Yeah, what's happening besides winter weather and winter colds and gunk.
This is just nothing more or less than the winter crud that I get every year. It's just this year, instead of my nasal sinuses, it seems to have settled down in my throat and be having a fine time. Doesn't want to be coughed up, it just wants to hang. It's nice and warm in here.
Doesn't hurt, you said.
Doesn't hurt.
That's good.
No sore throat, no fever, no other indicators of illness, just this voice.
Yeah.
Which is, yesterday it was mostly whisper and squeak. Mm-hmm. Today it's a good solid rasp. So down for podcasting. What is this ice skating viewing you were supposedly going to do this week?
Yeah, well...
if the winter doesn't get in the way.
Exactly. So it's just a regular competition that my daughter's in. And it's close by. It's in Chicago. So that's like the closest one she does. Uh-huh. So I'd really like to go. But... you know, there's been great hand-wringing about how horrible this blizzard is, which we assume will be over by the time you hear this. But yeah, I don't know. So I really would like to go, but as it is, you know, optional. I cannot go if the weather's really bad. In the past, I've been sort of like mid-journey when snow and wind kicked up, and it is terrifying. So I don't want to do that again. Yeah. I mean, I can handle snow, but when there's wind and you cannot see, it's just, no, it's not good.
Yeah, see, I didn't think Midwesterners cared about that stuff. I think thought you just did stuff anyway.
Well, when they're calling for 18 inches of snow and 40-mile-an-hour winds, then I mean, I looked at the National Weather Service, you know, the bulletin, the all caps, like everything they say is always in all caps, so it's always like dramatic, but it said like traveling will be difficult if not impossible. So like right now I have 5 alerts on my app, like special weather statement. Motorists should anticipate hazardous travel conditions. So if you have travel plans today or tonight, consider postponing until the storm passes. If you do need to venture out, use extreme caution.
Yeah. Well, impossible is a little daunting, isn't it?
Yeah. So
the time I was in Kansas City, I guess they must have never had that bad a storm, because I kept waiting for the day they were going to say, don't come into work, the roads are too dangerous, and it never
happened.
Even though, you know, I was like, people were rolling off into ditches on the side of the road because it was so icy.
Right.
One time I had to like hang out my window with an ice scraper clearing my windshield on the way home because it was snowing so hard. Yeah. But nope. Get out of bed. Get your butt in here.
Yeah. We need those cards.
That's right. There are greeting cards to plan. This is important.
Cannot wait. We cannot wait.
If you're in a ditch, call us. One of us will pick you up and
we'll just continue taking you to work. That's all we're going to do. So,
oh, man. So now I'm safely here in New Jersey where everything shuts down if there's a rumor of snow. So
yeah.
Much safer.
Right. Well, actually, our movie that we watched was set in wintry times in I believe New England. They didn't really fully specify.
Yeah. Driving distance to Boston.
Right. So this was the Holdovers movie, Alexander Payne directed movie, which starred 2 Golden Globe winners.
Yay.
Paul Giamatti for Best Actor and Divine Joy Randolph for Best Supporting Actress.
Although, making us look very smart for doing it this week.
I know.
Yes, we knew. We knew they were going to win.
We knew they were going to win. Also, was she a supporting actress?
I would say that all 3 of them were leads, but Hollywood.
Right.
So...
And just, we loved her in Only Murders in the Building as the detective, more so in the, what was it, the second and third, first and second, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We liked her. Yeah, we like her. Present tense.
Yes.
And we liked her in this film in a very, very different role.
Very different, playing, this was set in 1970 at this boarding school. And over the Christmas break, what starts out as a small group of boys have been basically left behind at this place. They all have various reasons. One kid is, from Korea. One kid is from Utah.
His parents are on a mission.
Oh, his parents are on a mission. That's right.
Yes.
Another one, there's some sort of weird excuse about how his house is being renovated, which clearly...
Yeah.
So it starts out with this small gang of kids who are stuck there, and Paul Giamatti playing the teacher who is assigned to take care of them because of spite.
He's in trouble with the headmaster because he didn't give some senator's son a passing grade,
right?
Which he did not deserve,
right?
And honestly, you got to sympathize with the professor right away because all these kids are little bleeps.
Yeah.
The 2 little kids are fine.
Right.
The grown-up kids, even the one we come to love, are pretty awful at the beginning.
Right. Although, what's his name? Paul Giamatti's character, is not liked by his students, and it is quite clear why.
Right. The loathing is mutual.
Yes, exactly. So, and Divine Joy Randolph plays Mary, who is the cook. She seems to be more like in charge of the kitchen, not just a cook. And she is staying over to feed them, and because her only child has fairly recently died in Vietnam, and she's kind of like, I don't want to do anything for Christmas. I will stay here with these weirdos. So she does, and then all of the boys except one, Tully, who turns out to be the main character, all of the boys get picked up in a helicopter and taken skiing.
Yeah. I'm wondering about those little kids because you know what? Those older guys they're going off with were very mean to them.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't they maybe want to stay at the school?
Right.
I don't know, but I guess for the purposes of the plot.
Right.
So long, kids.
Yes. One kid, the reason why he was there was because he refused to cut his hair. And the dad finally relented and was like, fine, I'll come get you. And then he said, does anybody else want to come?
Yeah.
And then he came back with his haircut.
He came back with his haircut, so maybe he relented.
Yes.
Just get me out of here.
Right. Get me out of here. But so that's dispensed with fairly quickly so that we are left with Tully and Mr. Hunnam, that's Giamatti's character, and Mary. And it's just a sweet, very moving in the end. How their relationship develops and what they do.
Yeah.
What they learn about each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was really good, but oh man, was it sad. I cried like 4 or 5 times in this movie. I can't remember the last time I cried at a movie. Just, I was sitting there watching it, all of a sudden my tear ducts exploded.
Right. Leaking tears.
Just so sad. And really the ending, while it's hopeful, it's not that happy.
No.
None of those people are removed from the situation that they have been miserable in.
Right. They each are
the professor
miserable
is, but who knows what's going to happen to him. He doesn't look like an extremely employable fella.
Right.
And the kid is still one bad grade away from military school, and his mother is still, oh my gosh, awful. And his dad is, oh my gosh, that whole thing with his dad.
Yeah.
Oh, golly. Spoilers. Are we spoiling? Let's not spoil, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, just...
And of course...
I mean, his mother and stepfather clearly have zero use for this kid. And if he would go get killed in Vietnam, that would probably help him out.
Right.
Help them out. So, oh, gosh.
Yeah,
and
that was
then Mary is maybe coming to terms with things, but she'll still
have lost her kid. Yeah.
Forever.
Right.
So it's like... You know, I read some people saying that this is a Christmas movie and you could clearly bring this back every Christmas. And it's, yes, I could see it. I could see watching it. But I don't know if I want to watch this again. It was so sad. Yeah. It's like Love Actually, except just the Laura Linney, Liam Neeson, and Emma Thompson plot lines.
Right. Yeah, except no infidelity.
Strong.
But...
Well, but it's just like, let's take the 3 most miserable plot lines that end in the least happy way. Well, I mean, Liam Neeson's ends happily for the kid, but still, people suffering for 2 hours. No, but it was really good, and I really enjoyed... I read some of the reviews, and they mentioned that Alexander Payne had said that he wanted to make a 70s movie. So not just a movie set in the 70s, but a movie that looks like it could have been made in the 70s. Yeah. So the fonts were all that 70s font. At the beginning, the rating stuff was all looked like it would have in the 70s. There was like the crackling of film stock over the opening. And just the way it was shot and the way it was scripted and just the performances really did remind me of that. They're mentioning Harold and Maude as an example of the kind of movie he wanted to make. So that brought me back. Yeah. And another way you could tell that this is set in the 70s is that absolutely everybody was smoking.
And drinking. Absolutely constantly.
I think you can still drink constantly in a movie, but I don't think you can smoke that constantly. Not everybody.
No, there was...
There would be one character.
Yeah.
But this, it was just... a swirl of cigarette smoke everywhere you go. But,
and pipe smoke as well.
That's right. Yes. But kudos to whoever was responsible for Giamatti's contact lenses. Because that was really effective.
Although I didn't find it to be fully consistent.
No? I just thought there was always something off about his eyes. I couldn't quite pinpoint it, but that's... not unusual, I think. Sometimes they floats back and forth a little bit. Right. My daughter has a situation where her eye will drift off. One eye will drift off to the side. And sometimes she's fine. And sometimes if she's tired or whatever, it's like way off. Right. So maybe that's the case with anybody with that condition. But, it just gave him such a look.
Yes. And it was, it was just another reminder of how kids are cruel to people who are different, because that's another thing that they, mocked him about, whether behind his back or almost in person. But just him, these three, very sad and broken people just kind of getting to know each other. Like Mary introduces Paul, the teacher, to the Newlywed Game. He's not seen that before.
Yes, that is so fun.
While they're having their nightly tipple together.
Yes. Just the meeting out of information as we went along. So that by the end, you think you know these people really well, and then you just get hit in the stomach by things you didn't know. Right. The professor's... why he wound up the way he did. Right. And now he's teaching the same sort of entitled snots that,
Yeah.
took away his potential.
Right.
No wonder he doesn't want to give the senator's kid a grade. But
He's using any small amount of power that he has. Yeah. And just the whole, you never know the battles that other people are facing.
Just the full situation the kid was in was just layers peeled off so nicely through the course of the film.
Right.
Until it just completely broke your heart.
Right.
Fun movie.
Yeah, the holiday cheer.
But lovely. Really, really well done.
Yeah.
Great performances. The kid was just somebody they found at a prep school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's his first movie.
Wow. Yeah, I certainly didn't recognize him.
They were scouting for locations, and they decided to just check the theater department at each of the schools they checked out. And they found him.
Wow.
So he did a fantastic job.
He sure did.
Acting against some pretty formidable performers.
Right.
So, good for him.
Yeah,
It'll
well
be hard
done.
to see him as anybody but that character, but still.
Yeah, although I feel like with, he had a specific look that could kind of change.
Perfect for that.
Yeah. And just the way he had like a little blemish on his face, it was like an old zit that was healing or something, it was like this just made it that much more real.
Yeah,
So.
very real. So
Yeah.
I would recommend this. I would recommend people watch it, have a box of tissues handy.
That's right.
But don't be afraid of it for that. It's good to have a good cry movie is nice.
Oh, yeah.
Actually.
Absolutely. Agreed.
And, not the happiest of endings. It was a satisfactory ending all the way around.
Right.
And that's something.
Yeah, because it was a meaningful ending. It wasn't a lazy, and then everything was fine.
Yeah.
No, it just...
Not possible.
Yeah. So I respect that.
The way things resolved, I thought was very interesting, and I didn't see coming. So,
Yeah.
wow.
So that's the Holdovers. Should we talk now or later about what we're going to do next?
Oh, let's talk now.
Okay. So
I can still talk.
Right. We are going to watch a series that has been, sort of on my radar for quite a long time. Keep meaning to watch it. Haven't done so yet. Have heard lots of wonderful things about it. That is Reservation Dogs.
Yeah.
Kind of a sitcom, I guess. About
I don't know really much about it other than that Alan Sepinwall always talks about it. So
so it's a group of native kids, hence reservation dogs, and just kind of what's happening with them. So it's 3 seasons, and the couple that I checked into were 25-30 minutes long.
Okay.
So I thought we can do 2 at a time.
Okay.
And the first episode, the pilot, is called Effin' Res Dogs.
Just so you're sure you're watching the right show.
Yes. And then the next one is called NDN Clinic. So I guess we will find out more about that. So we'll check into that.
And that is on Hulu, you say?
Yes, your favorite streamer, Hulu.
I have to get the one that I canceled and then my daughter quietly picked up.
Right.
So I'll have to go hat in hand and say, hey, that thing I didn't want anymore. Could I borrow some of it?
Please borrow.
Could I have a cup of Hulu, please?
Right. So we'll jump into that next time.
All righty.
I don't know if you can sing the song. Can you sing the library song?
Let me see. Because sometimes, you can't talk, but you can sing.
Yeah.
This may be the opposite. And now it's time for Catherine's Library Find of the Week.
Hey. You
There you
did
go.
it.
And I shall rest my voice while you talk about a
That's
book.
right. Well, I have two things. I have an update on a previous mention, which is the cute crochet project books.
Yeah. Did you indeed cute crochet something?
No, I certainly did not. I do not have the skill for that. But I came across a couple of more the other day, and oh my gosh, one was cute creepy creatures and cryptids. So it was like, Bigfoot and Nosferatu and the Sandman.
Wow. There is definitely an audience for that. That is so fun.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, one of the coworkers who was with me at the time was just exclaiming about how absolutely cute that was and how she wanted to go make something. And I said, but these are all creepy creatures, because she has a little kid, like a toddler. She's like, but they're still so cute. But then even better was the construction vehicle set.
Oh my gosh.
Little crocheted cement mixer and bulldozer and forklift, and you could even crochet little tiny orange cones. It was
Now, are these like entirely crocheted, or is there like some plastic grid involved?
No, they're entirely crocheted. There might be some little like stuffing in them, because they're.
That is so fun.
Yeah, the trucks were just absolutely so.
Were I of an age to be crafty, I would have to make those for my son, but that time of my life has passed. But
yeah, absolutely adorable. So that was just a little update on a past library find, and then I'm just gonna stick with the aesthetic picks now coming up, and I have a trio of picture books chosen for their looks.
all right. Well,
The first one's called The Perfect Siesta, and
does it store my couch?
On the cover is a sloth with, eyes half closed. And it says, it is very hot in the jungle, and suddenly a nice breeze arrives. The jaguar wants to take a siesta. Just then he saw a coati, is that how you say that animal? Coati,
Sure.
and said, could you do me a big favor? Could you wake me up in exactly 10 minutes? And then that one wanted a nap and asked the cockatiel to wake him up in 10 minutes, and so on and so on. And it is just, you just look at the cover and you'll fall in love with this sloth.
Aw, anything about naps, I'm in there.
Right. And another one, also, the next one is called Fish
My
and
eyes are
Crab.
like that sloth's eyes.
Right. Just
From about
just
6 o'clock in the evening on.
droop, droop, droop. So extremely adorable. And then the next one is called Fish and Crab. And in fact, the fish and the crab are in matching little twin beds on the cover.
Are they?
So
It's like a 50 sitcom.
they are best friends, and when it's time for bed, Crab is ready to go to sleep, but Fish is still wide awake, wondering, what is that noise? What if aliens abduct us? What if it rains frogs? So
Why am I out of water?
Crab,
Am I gonna die?
yeah, exactly. Crab has some anxiety, it sounds like. And so it's got a sweet message about
It's lovely.
sharing big feelings with a trusted friend.
Aw,
So it's super sweet.
yeah,
So
that's adorable.
yeah, check out Fish and Crab. That one's by Mariana Capo. And I forgot to mention this. The siesta was by Pato Mina, Patomena. And since we're
Both
on,
very fun style,
yes,
art style on both of them.
yes, and since we're on animals and
Although nothing
cool-
crocheted. Do you have
no,
a book where everything is crocheted?
no, but check out the next one. It's called Animal Portraits by Lucy Brunelier. And
These on sweaters?
no, this is a book still.
Oh my.
But it's
Wow.
a big giant book, and the images are just these are not so much cute as just really striking.
Is it like fabric art?
No, it's just I don't think so. I think
Okay.
it's illustrated. But yeah, they are stunning. They're just, it's this large format, which your local librarian, at least me, I can't really call myself a librarian, but I don't care for the large format books. They're hard to deal with, but this one is so cool looking. So
it's gorgeous.
So check that
Children
one out.
will not appreciate how pretty that is. You get that from Mom.
Yeah. But I think, kids who are super into animals, and because these are more realistic looking, they're not photorealistic kind of thing, but they're not cute.
Intense.
So, yeah. So check that one out too. It's called Animal Portraits. And I believe all of these, well, the second two, Animal Portraits and Fish and Crab, are from 2023. The other, the Perfect Siesta, is older. So I bring you a variety. Yeah. Sleeper. Good one. So that is our library picks. And now we're going to go take a spin through the archives and see what we were talking about 2 years ago, 4 years ago, and 6 years ago this week.
Whoa.
Back in 2020, we were talking about unhelpful helping and how, sometimes, whether it's family members or possibly other people, but I believe we were. I think we were
mostly yelling at family members.
Yes.
Who say they're going to help and then don't take the full burden.
Right. Because the issue is that Mom has the mental burden.
Yes.
Of all the things.
Mom has the checklist in her brain.
Right.
And nobody else cares about checking things off.
No, they do not. So
that is still the case in my house. In your house as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Keep throwing things out that could be done for my daughter's move downstairs, and everybody goes, "Oh yeah. Is it done?" No.
Right.
I had them go down and do something. I went back down, and it did not appear to be done. I guess it was done to their satisfaction, but
not your satisfaction.
Do I not give detailed enough instructions? Anyway, I just kept getting sucked back into it.
Right.
I don't want to. Yeah. Go do this thing.
Right. Is that so hard?
Apparently so. Well, the problem is they know that I will eventually get fed up and do it. There's no urgency on their part.
Right.
Is the problem. I keep thinking, should I make a giant checklist on a piece of poster board and hang it on the door opposite the kitchen? Would that help? Would people care?
I tried that.
Yeah. No, it doesn't work. I don't think it would work. I don't think they would care. Yeah,
I tried that with homework assignments. Yeah. Overdue homework assignments. And there was very little interest in doing them or checking them off or anything like that.
Everybody relies on the fact that Mom is going to nag. And then they're annoyed when we nag.
Right.
Pick one.
Right.
Okay? You don't blame the alarm clock for waking you up. You set it to do that.
Right.
If you set the mom to nag, then be appreciative when she does.
Or understand how it works, which is that if you do it, she will stop.
Well, that's true. You would think that would be an incentive.
Right.
And yet,
apparently not.
I found it to be so.
No. Certainly
Come on, you
not.
guys. It's been a long time. My kids are adults now. Shouldn't they just be doing stuff?
Right.
I'd moved out of my house by that time, and I had to do stuff or it didn't get done, but that's not the case for my kids.
Right. Yes.
So.
Yes. Well.
We're still singing tomorrow.
That's right. And then 4 years ago, we talked about whether we should help other parents and the sort of fraught situation of another parent being out in the world struggling with something and whether or not to step in and how you're kind of stuck either way.
Right.
Because, if you try to help, it might be like, leave me alone, basically.
Yeah.
Like the parent might be just like, yeah, I know, I'm trying to deal with this. But then if you don't help, well, it's like you're seen as just, selfish or...
Yeah. Everybody is standing around judging me and nobody is helping.
Right. Nobody's doing anything.
Yeah. It was a situation where I was in a store and a kid didn't want to go down the escalator and he was screaming and the mother was trying everything. And it was really, and I have a kid who doesn't like going down the escalator. And so I know that there's an elevator. So I just wanted to let her know, there's an elevator.
Right.
And she was like, no, you can do it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I just meant if you wish for an escape hatch, it's right over there.
There is one.
Yeah, because I have been in that situation too, although with an older child who just was frozen and not screaming. But still, you feel like you want to help people, but I can understand how it feels judgy for somebody to try to help you.
Right.
I could have just said, here, I'm down here. Throw him. I'll catch. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So I still don't know what to do about that. My instinct is still going to be to help. And it's still going to be resented even more now that I'm an elderly woman.
Right.
Did you know you don't have to do this and bother everybody? Do something else.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. And you definitely, you just have that fear of like being perceived as judgy or as kind of like sanctimonious. Like, I know how to take care of this. I guess you don't.
Yeah. There should be like a card that you could hand over that would say, good for one free piece of advice with no judgment. Right. So that you can just like put a little cone of silence over the two of you and just pass on the info and then leave. Right. As though you were never there.
Right.
But there's no way. Yeah. I don't know. I think I would probably still do the same thing if it happened again. Mm-hmm. And I'd probably get the same reaction. But I would probably have liked somebody to tell me that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you were in a situation, would you want...
If I was in that particular situation. Maybe other ones, not so much.
Right. That's the thing. How do you know?
I often was in the point where people would say something and then I would have to like explain my children's entire background and disability profile, and that's not appropriate. Right. But I don't know. Yeah. It's a thing, I guess. Whether you just leave people alone or you try to help them. Right. It's just such on the internet too. It's like if I post a picture, do I want somebody saying, "Oh, by the way, I see that your child is doing this. Why don't you do that?" I just say nice picture. Right. Yeah, it's so dependent on the situation, and you want to be able to just be like, I don't know. Yeah. But don't you want to offer sympathy without pity or judgment, and that's a real fine line. But this is a problem we moms of adults have, don't you find, is that we know everything, and yet nobody wants to hear it. Our kids don't want to hear it. Strangers don't want to hear it. Our parents still think we're idiots. It's just there's nothing to do for it. Mm-hmm. But just to sit on our laurels and know. Yeah, we know. We could help you with that, but we know you don't want us to. But I guess we won't. I guess we'll just sit here and watch you struggle. Which is what I would need in the texts to parents. Yes. Which we talked about in 2 years ago now. Yeah. So some company had a text service for new parents, right? To just send them advice. Right. Or you could text like a single word or a question, that something that you were having, something that you needed help with. So this was what we needed to be on the receiving end of this, you know, because we have all the information. See, what I need now is texts to old parents, and I need it every 15 minutes to get a text that says, nobody wants to hear that. Let them make their own mistakes. Right. You've nagged her enough. This is like why don't you write a blog post? Things like this. I forget now, which is bad, but I forget which insurance company has the commercials like you're turning into your parents. Yes. Like, no, we don't need to talk to everyone in the elevator. Those are extremely funny, if you ask me. Do you do that? Did I ever talk about I did a tweet about it, I think. I don't know if I ever talked about it on here about whether you say hello to strangers when you're walking on the street.
Yeah, we talked
going
about
into
that.
An office building or something like that. I'm still doing it, and I'm still feeling stupid when people don't say hi back. Mostly they do, but when they don't, it really stings.
Yeah. It definitely, and we did talk about this in a past episode too. And, it was certainly a difference when I moved to the Midwest from New York City. So I've now gotten to the point of, yes, you talk to everybody.
I think I get maybe a 75% return rate, which is not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And it's just that the ones where they just, you just want to assume they didn't hear you. But sometimes they look at you like, what's the matter with you? Are you going to steal my wallet? I'm just going to get out of here as quickly as I can.
Right. Well, and we're at work now, so we have a break room, at the library. And I always am like, what is the etiquette of like, how much do you talk? Like, I definitely, say hello, but there are some people who are like barely look up from their food when you say hello. But then there's other people who are like having a whole conversation. Yeah. So it's just very much the person.
Well, in that situation, you can ID the rude ones and just leave them alone, but
right.
Rather than random strangers. But
yeah,
that's awkward. One of the many reasons I'm glad I'm not in a workplace. I'm rusty.
Right.
They have virtual workplaces for one of my freelance clients. They have like a Slack channel that's just for chatting. And I feel so awkward going in there. They hardly know me.
Right.
Do they really want me to come in here and say something? And then sometimes you do post something and nobody likes it. And it's like,
It's like, okay, fine. I won't say anything.
Yes. I don't know.
That's like in the earlier days of Instagram when our daughters would, delete a post if it didn't get X number of likes within a certain amount of time.
Yes.
So.
Oh, well.
Yes. Well.
They need texts every 15 minutes saying, your mother loves you. Have you called your mother? Right. Maybe you want to text your mother.
Yeah, the text to new parents, text to old parents, text to children.
Did you do that
teens.
thing your mother told you to do? Why not do it now?
Oh boy. So, well, we'll wrap up today's ranting and say
that sounds like a good idea.
Right.
Maybe we should do that.
We'll hope that Terry's back with us in full force next week.
Yes, it could happen. If I'm not, then there's something wrong.
Yeah. So that's it for the Parenting Roundabout Weekly Roundup. As we discussed before, next week we'll watch the first 2 episodes of season 1 of Reservation Dogs and talk about that. You can find all of our episodes on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. You can also talk to us on our Facebook page, on Instagram, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat. And please visit our Amazon shop at amazon.com/shop/momitude, where you can find links to a lot of the things we've talked about over the years. We'll see you back here next Tuesday. Bye, Terry.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, that sounded good. Bye, everyone.